The United States, US, and China will lift massive tariffs on each other's goods for 90 days, today Wednesday, the 14th of May 2025, early morning local time. Washington and Beijing have agreed to drastically reduce the tariffs they have set for each other after talks in Geneva, Switzerland, last weekend. US President Donald Trump said Washington now has a blueprint for a trade deal. According to him, this blueprint will be very, very strong with China. He also said that the document would make Beijing's economy open to US business. This is the latest response from the 78-year-old president in an interview broadcast Tuesday local time on Fox News. "We have a very, very strong agreement with China. However, the most interesting part of the deal is China's openness to US business," he told the media while on Air Force One on his way to the Middle East, citing AFP. "One of the things that I think is most interesting to us and also to China is that we are trying to open up China," he added without elaborating further. Trump has upended international trade with his sweeping tariffs across the economy, with China the hardest hit. Unwilling to budge, Beijing has responded with retaliatory levies that have brought tariffs on both sides well over 100%. After billions of dollars were wiped off equities and businesses were battered, negotiations finally began over the weekend in Geneva to find a way out of the impasse. Under the deal, the US agreed to lower its tariffs on Chinese goods to 30%. China will cut its own tariffs to 10%, a drop of more than 100 percentage points. The reductions are due to take effect after midnight Washington time on Wednesday. It is a major de-escalation in trade tensions that have seen US tariffs on Chinese imports soar to 145% and as high as 245% on some products. Still, the risk of a new escalation remains. The additional US tariffs remain higher than China's because they include a 20% levy over Trump's complaints about China's exports of a chemical used to make fentanyl. Washington has long accused China of turning a blind eye to the fentanyl trade. President Xi Jinping's government has consistently denied this. While the US says it sees room for progress on the issue, Beijing on Tuesday warned Washington to stop blaming and blaming. Analysts also warned that the possibility of tariffs returning after 90 days would add to uncertainty. Further tariff reductions will be difficult and the risk of a new escalation remains, said Yu Su, chief economist at the Economist Intelligence Unit. Trump's never-ending tariff spat with Beijing has wreaked havoc on US companies that rely on Chinese manufacturing. The expected temporary de-escalation would only partially calm the storm. Beijing officials have acknowledged that China's economy is also being hit by trade uncertainty. China itself is already reeling from a prolonged property crisis and sluggish consumer spending. Both sides have experienced a lot of economic pain and they can still hang on a little longer, said Dylan Low, an assistant professor at Singapore's Nanyang Technological University.